The case study that I chose was the case study of this week, the reverse racism issue. The premise of the case study is a coach who is trying to decide the two final players for his basketball team, and the team is having tryouts. Um, it's between two players. One, Steve, who is a hardworking, go-getter type athlete, gets along well with the other players, and the second one, Greg, is not as hardworking, really doesn't put forth much effort, and is rather lackluster. They both have the same skill level on the court, so it's really just determined by um, their attitude. The issue is that Steve is Caucasian and Greg is African American. It's rumored from the students that that Greg has said that if he were not to be chosen for the team, he will tell everyone that it is a racism issue. So the coach is worried and does not want to invite negative publicity to the school. He decides to choose Greg. Well, and the dean of the school is an African American woman. So he does not want to go to her to worry her about the issue. But so he goes ahead and chooses Greg over Steve just based on the issue of not wanting negative publicity. The school or the team ends up not appreciating this decision and revolts against him in the end, and the team walks out on him in one of their final games. Common sense solution. The coach really did not need to make this decision on his own. I don't think he needed to involve the players. That is not their job. As a coach, you are forced to make difficult decisions all the time, and you have to take responsibility for that and not ask your players for their opinion. It's their job to play and do their best on the court. It's your job to make difficult decisions. I feel like he ultimately let his team down by doing this. He could have very easily gone to the dean. She is African American. She could have given insight to the racism issue. She also is full responsibility over the school, so she would have been an asset in the decision-making process. I don't think if he were going to consult players, he should have done it in a roundabout way and not really let them on to his issue with being worried about racism. They don't need to know that kind of weakness that he is having and struggle. They need to have faith in their coach's skills and really respect him as a coach in order for him to get the best outcome of their playing abilities. Moral theory based solution. The issue is step one. The issue is that there's two players of both the same skill set. One is hardworking, one is not. One is Caucasian, one is African American. So the racism issue is a huge part of all of it. The options that the coach has are to involve no one, make this decision on his own, and a rather uneducated decision, I believe. The by not involving anyone, he alienates himself, essentially. His second decision could be to involve the players, get their opinion on the issue. The third option would be to involve the dean and get some insight from her. I feel like by involving the players, that could show his weakness. It could show them that he is not an effective decision maker on his own. He has to consult them. It also could potentially implicate them if there was a racism issue that they were a part of the decision for this. Also, it's baseless. I mean, their allegations. It's not a confirmed fact that Greg was going to go to the board on that. By involving the dean, he would have better insight into her opinion on an African American standpoint. She's also the head of the school, so she would have the best interest of the university's opinion. The final possibility was just to make the decision based on his own merit, and this would alienate himself as it did, and the students did not respect him and eventually walked out on him. Step 3, I truly feel like the best decision that he could have made was going to the dean. She could have given him better insight. She is the head of the university, so not all of the responsibility lies solely on the coach. The players would have had a little more faith in their system, knowing that even the dean respected this decision, and she could have prevented possible issue had there been a racism claim. She could have prepared for that kind of media negativity. If he were going to go to the players, that would show weakness on his part, but it would give him some insight to how the players felt about the issue. Clearly, they wanted Steve on their team. But truly, I think that the best decision for him was to go to the dean and have her assistance on the issue. So that is what I think.